Can dehydration cause back pain? Dehydration occurs when a person is losing or using more fluid than they're taking in. The body needs fluid to perform optimally, and for many of its basic functions, your body needs to be hydrated. And dehydration can affect the entire body, including the back. Now, when we look at dehydration, we can talk about many different effects that it can have on the spine. And we know the spine consists of vertebrae or bones that are stacked upon one another in a straight alignment. And dehydration potentially could affect muscles and tissues and ligaments, but what I want to focus on mostly is the intervertebral discs that sit in between these vertebrae that are stacked upon each other. Dehydration can affect these disc fluid levels, especially chronic dehydration. And this can lead to something called disc desiccation, which can cause a number of back problems, and it tends to be a precursor to many things that occur over a long period of time, because discs play many key roles in spinal health, function, and alignment. When we look at disc health is very critical or crucial for spinal health and function and mobility. These discs actually provide cushioning between every set of vertebra, so there's no friction that's generated during movement. These discs also attach to the adjacent vertebra to help give the spine its shape and structure. Discs also act like shock absorbers in a way to help combine the forces to facilitate flexibility as a result of compression. Your body's experiencing compression every single day of your life as a result of gravity over time. So the more your body can deal with these compressive forces, the better it can live and deal with its natural environment, which is in gravity. If a disc becomes dehydrated, known as disc desiccation, it can affect almost all those functions in a negative way. And as a result, this disc desiccation can be the precursor to many, many other concerns over time. When we're born, our discs are very largely made of water, and the discs are very, very hydrated. And as we age, these fluid levels can change, and they can change to become excessively dehydrated. And if one or more of these discs become excessively dehydrated as a result of a person not consuming enough water or leading sedentary lifestyles or doing other types of potential lifestyle that can lead to this desiccation or dehydration of the disc, it can lead to many different types of concerns. And if these discs become dehydrated, they start to change the shape. And we start changing the shape and losing the height or the thickness of these discs. This can affect the position of the vertebrae themselves, which cause them to shift out of alignment, which can lead to abnormal pressure to the discs, which causes a cyclic response because it causes the spine to shift further out of alignment, which lead to more asymmetrical pressure, which causes more disc desiccation. So you can see it becomes a very cyclic problem if we don't deal with it. This misaligned spine can lead to this not only abnormal function, but it can lead to, like I mentioned, uneven wear and tear, which causes more disc desiccation to occur. Once a disc becomes very desiccated or dehydrated, it's more prone to bulging, herniation, which in cases could be very, very painful. So when we look at bulging and herniated discs, we know bulging discs are discs that when the inner nucleus of the disc is pushing to the outer layer or the outer ring or fibers that are associated, and when it's pushing so much that it's causing it to bulge, that's called a bulging disc, and it can compress surrounding areas. And the ones that cause symptoms typically affect the nerves that exit the spine, the bones of the spine, which therefore can lead to nerve compression. A herniated disc is one step further. Not only is that center pushing to the outer ring, but it's actually broken through and it's now gone out through the outer ring, and it's also now compressing nearby spinal nerves. So bulging discs and herniated discs are more commonly associated in discs that have gone through this desiccation process because they're not as flexible. And when these become dehydrated, they're more prone to these types of problems as a result of this dehydration process that occurs in this disc desiccation. Now, disc desiccation can also be associated with other spinal conditions like scoliosis, kyphosis, hyperlordosis. Any misalignment over time left uncorrected can cause abnormal pressure to the disc, can squeeze out the fluids, and lead to this issue. So therefore, dehydration can affect the entire body in a very negative way. But most specifically, when we look at the spine, it can literally be the precursor to spinal degeneration. And spinal degeneration, left uncorrected, can snowball into very severe effects. So therefore, keeping it hydrated is very important. We know discs do not have a significant vascular supply, meaning they don't have a lot of blood supply that's sending nutrients into the discs. So therefore, they can become easily dehydrated as a result of lack of fluids or lifestyle changes that occur, lifestyle choices that are causing these discs to become dehydrated. Low activity levels can also contribute to this disc desiccation because we know that these discs don't have significant blood flow and you don't have activity going to it. It's causing the spine and these discs to compress. So therefore, the more active you are, the more the fluid tends to go in and out of the disc to help improve the hydration and mobility of these disc tissues. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions about this topic or other scoliosis questions, type in the comments below and let us know. And finally, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of when we publish new videos just like this.